A very good evening to you. Today is the 29th of January 2010 and this is Prime TV News. I'm Sasanka Das. Here are the top stories. Indians say the election proves that Sri Lankans believe they should be led by an experienced political leader. China hopes for social stability in Sri Lanka. Germans are geared to invest in Sri Lanka. Shares hit a fresh high after the president's re-election. And on news overseas, foreign ministers of several countries meet in London to decide the fate of Afghanistan. Moving into news in detail, we start off with news here at home. Today is the Navam full moon Poya Day. According to the Buddhist calendar, two significant events had taken place today. It was on this religious day that the Venerable Sariputta and Moggallana Theras were enrolled as the two chief disciples of the Buddha. The first ever Buddhist council or a Sanghayana had also been held on Navam full moon Poya Day. Buddhists in Sri Lanka and abroad are participating in religious observances to mark Poya, which is also the first Poya day of this year. The Dhamma sermon was held at the temple trees as usual under the patronage of President Rajapaksa. It was delivered by the chief incumbent of the Sri Sudarshana Dharma Niketana at Hettideniya Gampaha, the Venerable Katavala Hemaluka Thera. A large number of people, including First Lady Shiranti Rajapaksa, participated. The Poya Day program telecast by ITN was given live from its premises. Mahinda Rajapaksa's thumping victory in the Sri Lankan presidential elections proves the people of the state believe they should be led by an experienced political leader, not a self-centric, opportunistic ex-military general. Settling the internally displaced people who still live in government camps and providing an appropriate political solution to the Tamils are the two gigantic tasks before Mr. Rajapaksa. If he resolves the issues in a manner that satisfies all sections, the Hindu newspaper said he will be remembered as the real hero of Sri Lanka. These are among many of the comments that have been made in views expressed to the editor of the Hindu newspaper. Mr. Rajapaksa's victory is a positive vote for peace and development. Sarath Fonseca should accept the verdict gracefully. Mr. Rajapaksa should work towards making Sri Lanka the #1 tourist destination. He should also give the much-needed healing touch to all sections. Another opinion expressed was that Mr. Rajapaksa, who delivered his country from the LTTE's tyranny, deserved to win the election. The people of Sri Lanka should be happy that the winner has turned out to be a person with experience, plan and vision. China hopes Sri Lanka will maintain social stability. This view has been expressed by Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Ma Zhao. The spokesman was commenting on Sri Lanka's presidential election. Ma made the remarks at a regular news conference yesterday. The Chinese spokesman said both nations maintain very close friendly ties. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman emphasized that they believe the government and people of Sri Lanka can handle their domestic affairs without any outside interference. Ma Zhao was optimistic that Sri Lanka can thus realize the long-lasting peace and stability in the country. You're watching Prime TV News and we're still at home. The government will be giving priority to improving infrastructure of the health service in rural areas. The Health Ministry will be giving new ambulances to 13 hospitals. Its cost will be 100 million rupees. The handing over of these ambulances to several base hospitals including Velimada, Kandikatiya, Atampitiya, Uvaparnagama, Putupitiya and Giranduru Kotte took place under the patronage of Minister Nima Siripala de Silva. Each ambulance is worth 7 million rupees. The minister said that allocations have been made to provide ambulances to more rural hospitals. He pointed out that the government has drawn its attention to give priority to improving the health conditions of the rural fraternity. Moving on, a naval patrol boat of the Royal Australian Navy arrives in the island. Naval media spokesman Captain Atula Senarath described it purely as a goodwill visit. To Prime TV, Captain Senarath said the Royal Australian Navy's HMAS Glenelg arrived at the Colombo harbour yesterday. HMAS Glenelg is a patrol boat belonging to the Royal Australian Navy. It is 56.45 meters in length. It has a displacement of 270 tons and consists of a crew of 4 officers and 25 sailors. It is commanded by Lieutenant Commander S.T. Doolin of the Royal Australian Navy. HMAS Glenelg's visit to Sri Lanka is expected to strengthen the existing ties and cooperation between Sri Lanka and Australia. Commanding officer of the visiting patrol boat is scheduled to call on several senior naval officers of the Sri Lankan Navy. Sri Lankan Navy has arranged a special program for the visiting crew to enhance their relations with the Sri Lankan personnel during their stay in Sri Lanka. German investors have expressed willingness to undertake investments in Sri Lanka. A group of German investors has arrived in the island with Sri Lanka's Consul General in Germany, Budhiya Thauda. German investors expressing their views in Colombo today refer to the positive climate created for them to undertake investments in the island.
I'm here with the client to evaluate the chances for him to invest in this country, and based on the meetings that we had until now, I can say that this is quite promising, and we're looking forward to achieve a good agreement for the purpose and the benefit of both parties. Based on the meetings that we had, I can say that they are quite promising, and we're looking forward to achieve a good agreement for the purpose of. And I can say that the meetings that we had are very promising, and we're looking forward to achieve an agreement which brings advantage to all stakeholders.
From Frankfurt Consulate, we have managed to bring the highest number of investors so far to Sri Lanka. They have come here to investigate and explore business opportunities, and most of the investors have decided to and join Sri Lanka's economic trend, and they are exploring ways to invest. So even today I have some visitors from Germany, and they are exploring some mega projects now, and the last few days they have had some meetings, and they are very happy and excited.
Another record from the stock market. Sri Lankan shares have hit a fresh all-time high. The record reached after dipping 1.9% in early trade yesterday on stability hopes after the presidential polls. The all-share price index of the Colombo Bourse jumped 1.28% to reach a fresh record high of 3,637.66 points. This surpasses its previous all-time highs at 3,610.74 hit on Tuesday. Retail investors chipped into the bourse and started buying shares across the board on hopes of political stability and unchanged economic policies after the president's re-election. Investors are positive as they think that there will not be any changes, policy changes. Central Bank Governor Ajit Nivard Cabral has said that Sri Lanka's policy direction is clearer after President Rajapaksa was returned to power with a bigger majority at the presidential polls. This permits investors to emerge from any wait-and-see attitude. He said investors could set in their plans in motion. They have a clear path charted for the next 6 years. The war has been eliminated, a clear mandate has been obtained from the people, and they have put forward a plan of action in the Mahinda Chintana. The mandate would strengthen the government's hand to act on the basis of a report of a taxation commission that is being prepared. He said the government was mulling over changes to taxes on a predetermined path. There will be a cohesive plan. Mr. Cabral observed that they wanted to give some certainty to economic agents to act. That wraps up the local segment, and it's time for Prime World now.